So I'll just show this. This was interesting. There's a trader that nailed this short yesterday on BMNR. Just mention that really quick. This is the trade. So he says made roughly 10 million, biggest trade of his career. And he paid 350,000 in borrows to do the short. So we know we had that offering. So he hit it perfectly. Now I don't know. You can't. Obviously, he's not shorting it after the offering. He's adding after the offering, so he's getting in before the offering. So let me see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, so there we go. He's got some ads in pre-market, really hitting it on the open, adding after the offering comes out, and then just covering really nicely down there into the lows. He's got a support line right there. So pretty crazy. I don't know how you hit this like that. He probably was coming in with a swing idea, and then the offering happened. So that's what I imagine happened. It's hard for me to short the open like that, but that's basically what he did. Looks like he got most of his size right around the open. And I'll pull the chart up in a second, but there's a trend break there, and it's actually breaking out. It's breaking out on a trend DTL line. So it's a trend breakout, and he's shorting into the breakout heavily. So you can see there's so many arrows right here that the screen just turns black, because these arrows have a black border. So that's how many arrows are stacked right there. So it looks like most of his size was right out of the gate. Now, if you're rigging the stock, that's exactly what you would do. You would sell into a key breakout area. So I don't know. He got incredibly lucky on the offering news. Could he have moved the stock by slamming it? I don't think so. If that was happening, then you would see it going down as he's continues to enter. So you would see arrows lined up all the way down. But you can see it's just stacked. All of them are stacked right there. He gets some extra ads down there, and that's pretty much it. So pretty incredible trade, and just like to think about the mindset of what's he thinking whenever he's getting in right here on the breakout on the open. If you're trading huge size too, you kind of need liquidity. So you can't take certain trades. You need a certain amount of volume. So you have to enter into those high liquidity zones so you're not impacting the stock price. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, we have this trend line right here, pretty perfect trend line. And it breaks out. So he's shorting the breakout of this trend line. Obviously, this thing's up quite a bit from $3 to 160 about over a few days. So it's a clear short. Yeah, there was tons of liquidity. Yeah, insane amount of liquidity here. So basically, he's shorting the breakout. That is a really difficult thing for me to want to try. Because what if it just kept going? Then what? I don't know how you do a trade like that. I don't get it. I don't get shorting the open. People do it. So let's see exactly the timing of that offering. So we're looking at the 9th. All right. So they had two. Stop at last swing high. Yeah, that's not much room. Not really much room. So at 8 o'clock, they said they closed their previous offering. And then at 9:41, I don't know if this is the most updated timestamp. There might be the filing might have come out a little bit sooner than that. But the TOS news says 9:41 they filed for a mixed shelf offering. $2 billion. $2 billion. So yeah, basically right out of the open, they filed for that $2 billion offering. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of like it better if it's more of a wait for the failed breakout move and then get it short down here and then risk high day. That seems like a better idea to me. I mean, obviously, he knows what he's doing. But if there wasn't an offering here, what stops us from going higher? What stops it from just popping up a little bit more? And then if you're risking previous day's high, you get stopped. So it's 10%. And then, see, I would have thought maybe he would risk the ultimate high, like 160, because then you're not going to stop out. If you have the swing mindset, it's going to come down. You just have to prevent a blow up, basically. And you have to take a stand somewhere. But I don't know what his risk was. It seems like the previous day's high was a little bit tight. So Scotty says stop at last swing high, which, yeah, I guess would be, it's either the previous day high or this high from 7.3. But regardless, that's always the question in these P&L posts. What was the risk? Yeah, exactly. How much did you risk? It seems like with the short selling, the risk reward is usually something like 1 to 2, 1 to 1 a lot of times. And then if you get nice follow through, it's 1 to 3. So the win rate though is super high. So that's the appeal on the short selling. If you pick the right risk, it's going to be hard to stop out, and you don't get chopped up in all this nonsense. So this eventually probably would have faded back anyways. So let's say you risk up here, risking something like 25% to make 50%. And then you have a maybe 80-90% win rate on it. You got a 2-to-1 risk reward. That kind of makes sense. And it's easy to execute like that. It's hard to get, super precise, perfect timing and risk, only 10%. So yeah, that's the big question. The other question is, how many times did he try this trade? Did he try it the previous day too? And then, I don't know, if you short the open on this day, you get squeezed. So did he try on the open over here and stop out and lose 500,000? And did he try the day before that? We just don't know all the stuff. So then with the wider risk idea and then the swing mindset, you could have entered the day before, risk up here, risk the 25%, and still been right. You could have done the same thing on day 2. So it doesn't matter which day you get in on. Eventually you're right. You just have the stop to prevent a blow up. So, and this strategy, again, it needs to be high win rate. You can't be trying that over here too early. So, yeah, that's the questions. It's awesome to see people banking like that, but we don't have the whole story either. We don't know if he's green on this ticker or not. He might have got his money back. Or he's up huge. But I don't think he would have tried over here too early. Usually he does wait for a few legs up before he starts trying this stuff like this. So this one had 2 legs up, but they were pretty insane legs. So there we go. Moral of the story, if you want to be the best short seller, you just short the breakout. Done.